Slowly kisses busting by the river.
Welcome to another exciting edition of $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Paperboy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And today is, again, one of our favorite times. We show you a lot of things that sold and tell you what to look out for. And more importantly, we explain why they sold, what it was that made them sold. Sometimes you may or may not be able to find them out there, but you may be able to use some of the hints and tips that we give you on some of your own items. So why don't you take it away?
All right, first off, a little off the beaten path of what I sell, but I know it's a good deal. Vintage lot of approximately 300 assorted World War II patches.
Oh,
so funny. So I ended up taking a $700 offer on this after the auction was over with. But funny story: the gentleman came in a couple times, sold me autographs of Mickey Mantle. His father had a mobile gas station where I guess Mantle showed up, and he had some original artwork done and signed by him.
Oh wow!
And then he came back in after I bought it from him and goes, "Do you know anyone that would buy military patches?" I go, "Well, I'm not an expert, but I've dealt with them in the past." And then he brought him in. I did a quick search on eBay. I don't know what's rare or not rare, but I do know in lots, you know, they were selling for a few bucks a piece. You know,
looks like you got about, with shipping, about $2.50, just under $2.50 a piece.
I think I paid him about half of what it sold for, maybe a little under that. But you know, very good deal, and it was a quick flip because it sold within like 7-8 days.
And I think probably the key on something rather like this, I would expect, is you probably put a fair number of pictures up.
Oh yeah,
every patch picture.
I think there was 12, and we divided 300 into 12 into 300, and then
25 per or something other like that.
They're all out there. Yeah, so very cool. Moving on, I've had this for a while. I thought it was way better than it was, and I still made some money on it. But Woodstock lot, it was original tickets, a pamphlet, a program. The guy's check that he bought the tickets with, and some photos.
See, and that is kind of key because there are reproductions of the Woodstock tickets out there regularly. Yeah. So this was a legitimate Woodstock ticket. He even had a copy of the check that he had used.
Right. Yeah, and I think I had this up for $1,500 like a year ago. And then we put it on sale, and no one was biting on it. And then we had some offers that were super low. Mm-hmm. I always wanted to get it framed. I was just, too lazy and busy, so I guess I never got the whole thing framed. So I said, you know what, let's get rid of it. So $755. So I think I paid $500 for the lot. So I made
a couple hundred bucks. After everything, you made $100 bucks, whatever like that. Which, something I probably would have bought it for the $500 if that came in as well, because again, that's rare, and it's also got the provenance.
Right.
The fact that the check is there that shows that he went, and it's got all the various things that shows that he went.
I think he had an envelope too that was mailed from there. So
the only thing maybe you should have done a little bit differently, you should have put it aside and held it for 48 years, and in 2069 would be the 100th anniversary.
Yeah, that would be great if I'm alive then, which is highly unlikely. Moving on. All right, this was out of my personal collection that I've been downsizing. Life-size Star Wars custom prop of Cab A. He's a Cantina creature, and he's only about 3.5 feet tall. I got $500 for this guy.
Now, when you say it's it's one of a kind, so it's not. Is it a custom or?
It is a custom, yeah. So I was, back in the day, I was collecting life-size Star Wars statues until I ran out of room and money. We had a couple kids, and then got to start selling them. So I got a few ones left that I like. So.
Now, what's and I see it there, but you might as well tell it to people. What's the shipping on it?
We put $150 up just because I got a feeling it's going to get the oversized charge. So it technically would cost $50 maybe to ship it to New York, but
with the weight, right?
Yeah, but with the oversized, if it's going to California, who knows what it's going to cost.
What size is that?
About 3.5 feet tall.
3.5 feet tall, right.
I took the feet off, so maybe 3 feet. Yeah.
Nice.
So. All right, I picked up a Transformer collection with some comics maybe a couple weeks ago. A lot of convention pieces, very cool, rare stuff. A lot of foreign pieces. This one went for $970.
And what is it now? It's
a Transformers Beast Wars BotCon figure.
You don't want to try to pronounce
Antagony.
I think you're absolutely right. I would have saw it. Gani.
Everyone knows Antagony.
I think you're right.
But I got a bunch of other pieces up that sold for good money as well. And there's another $1,000 piece that was signed by someone too on the back. Very cool.
Oh, this had a fair number of bids on it as well. 12 bids. And now this was a convention only piece, or
you only get that at a certain convention. So like they'd have the one, whatever, the BotCon in '98. So that piece was only limited there.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Very nice. And when conventions start back up again, I know that at one point or other, we had gone to San Diego Comic-Con, and I do remember you had gotten a few exclusives when you were out there.
Sure. Yeah.
So do you think when things pick back up again, if we do go to San Diego Comic-Con again, do you think it's worth just picking up pretty much any exclusive out there, or?
Yeah, I say you can't go wrong, unless you cut the line again and leave me alone with strangers like last time. But
We'll tell that story in another day. We're kind of on a time schedule. Next.
all right, I bought a couple Grateful Dead T-shirts, tour T-shirts from a customer, and I knew they were good. I didn't know they were this good. This one went for $433.
Oh, that's Standing on the Moon.
Yeah, very
tour.
cool.
Okay.
And there was another one for like $250. And I feel bad. I'm going to throw the guy a little bonus when I see him next, because neither of us had any idea how good they were. But
Now, how do you know that those were real, and isn't something I just put up in the basement?
yeah, the tags. I think we did close up on the tags. Those are the legit original ones. Where the knockoff ones is a different company.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. And
Very good.
the deadheads definitely know the difference.
I'm sure they do.
All right, next up, baseball season's around the corner. This is a vintage piece. I had this for a while. I had this for $1,200. I had it for $1,000.
Now, did this come from that consignment?
This was from the consignment with the T206 cards. Yep.
Yep, and for anybody who hasn't seen that, definitely take a look. It's got its own little section. We've got a couple of videos down in there, but it's I believe it's something about Taming the Monster. I believe is the name of it, Taming the T206 Monster. It's got a couple of videos down there. Definitely check that one out if you haven't. It's just unbelievable stuff. I know Primetime, when he had us on, also did a little bit of that video as well. It's just unbelievable stuff, and you'll see this in there as well. But go back to your story.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to cut you
no,
off.
that's sure. It's only the millionth time. Anywho, so this is a 1885 first edition children's baseball book. I mean, it was in really rough shape. I think the pages are separated. So I think another online store had this one for thousands of dollars in better condition. But I took $500. It's been a while, and got to see it go.
No, it's a beautiful piece, though. Yeah. It's a beautiful piece.
Very cool. And lastly, back to Transformers, another piece from the BotCon. This is 2001.
And who is it again?
Tigatron.
There you go.
Of course it is. And $425 it won. Very cool piece, very rare, and I'm the happy seller.
Now, is that the same convention the other one went to?
Different year, same convention.
Okay.
BotCon, yeah, but this was in 2001, yeah.
Right.
So keep an eye out on exclusives, convention pieces, and so forth.
Right. I know I've seen you play a couple of video games, and all the kids nowadays, they call you a bot. That's not a good thing, by the way.
No, I don't think so. No. And they call you a con.
Not nice, thanks. So we're over in the mine, and this first thing over here I picked up, I don't generally sell TV guides, but it was in a lot of other TV guides, including some local TV guides, which I know those sell because people collect those. Now, this is the general TV guide. One very important thing, if you are listing TV guides, what do you always want to note?
The date and where region.
Region. People do collect regions. They want to see their local TV listings. Now, this happened to come out of a Chicago estate, so it's the Chicago area. And I did not mention it up above. I did mention it down below. But didn't go for a lot. I took it off for $15 on it. Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke always sells. It's still on in reruns, and it's still heavily watched in reruns. And that's just one of those TV shows that, for whatever reason, of all the Westerns, that seems to be the one that everybody enjoys watching. Believe your father used to watch Gunsmoke, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, he certainly did.
When bowling wasn't on. But they've got...
In Dallas.
It was a dream.
Yeah, it sure was.
So Gunsmoke, if you do see things with that, and another Western that sells regularly is Bonanza.
Okay.
Bonanza stuff and Gunsmoke stuff are the two Westerns that are still holding on and still will sell. A lot of the stuff, Hopalong Cassidy, things like that, Gabby Hayes, things like that don't sell very well anymore, but those two do still sell. Next one, we kind of walk out of the Papergoy region a little bit into your area. So here I am cutting in on your territory.
Right. It's about time.
Yeah, I've been watching your videos.
Very cool.
Dynama and the Blue Falcon, lunchbox and thermos. I believe I paid, I'm going to say $20 or $25 for it, something rather like that. I don't generally do lunchboxes, and you may or may not know this. Well, you will know my first question. What was that made out of from 1976?
Well, it's got to be tin, right?
Metal, yep.
Metal, yep.
Did you know you're not allowed to sell metal lunchboxes anymore at stores and all that kind of thing?
I think I did hear that, yes.
Do you know why?
No.
Because little kids, probably you, would smack other little kids over the head
okay.
with the lunchbox.
Cool.
And kids who were getting hurt with lunchboxes, and now they can't sell metal lunchboxes anymore. This lunchbox, apparently you had it in 1978. And apparently I felt it on my head in 1978
Could be.
because it's all bashed in on the back side.
Nice.
So it's not great shape either. I definitely did note that. Very important. And again, I don't generally buy lunchboxes, but this was something I watched growing up, as a matter of fact. And I just had a feeling about it that it was good with the thermos. And that's the key, too, is the thermos adds a lot of value to it. I had put it up, and I had somebody or other offering me like $40 on it. And I said, no, it's worth more than $40. I paid $25 for it. By the time I ship it out, I'm not going to make anything.
Sure.
And it did take a little while to sell, but as you see, I did buy it in 2020. So it's not like I bought it in 2016 or something. But if you do see the thermos, definitely purchase it if it's priced right. And if it's something obscure like this, somebody out there will want it. Speaking of things that always sell, Chicago Tribune TV Week. Now, this is one of those local TV guides that I ended up getting. 1981, Greatest American Hero. I mean, that's just a great picture of the Greatest American Hero.
Sure.
But even more importantly, it's got Connie Selica. And Connie Selica is one of those people that has a group of hardcore collectors. You don't find a lot of things with Connie on it, but when you do find something with her on it, note her, put it up, it will sell. It's not quite up on the level of, the Kiss or the Madonna or those kind of things, but it's the next level down. Jane Seymour is another one.
Sure.
You've got a hardcore group of Jane Seymour collectors. So if you see Jane Seymour, Connie Selica, I don't know if you can think of anyone else off the top of your head that, some of them we all know, Michael Jackson, that sort of thing. But yeah, Connie Selica, do note her. It did sell, and it is a very nice photo. I mean, it's a full page, cover like that. Ever heard of Darkwing Duck?
I have.
Are you aware that he is worth some money in a miniseries?
No, I know the DVD series I bought for my kid, and he never watched it. But other than that, wow, 1991.
1991 set of 4. I took $75 on it, but Darkwing Duck miniseries goes for $75. When I was doing my comps on that, I saw what people were asking on it, and I said, no way.
Where'd you find that at?
It was in a comic lot I bought. I don't remember which one it was. It was one of the comic lots I bought recently that we did the Instagram. And that's another thing. Do check us out on Instagram. Thank you for the segue. I did an Instagram showing a lot of the comics that I have just sitting around the house, and I will be getting some of those listed. But we do post every day on Instagram. Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, we talk about the video that's coming out because those are the days our videos come out. And the other days, we try to give you a little tip of the day. So $1 Million Peddlers on Instagram, and thank you for the segue, whether you knew it or not.
Anytime.
But yes, Darkwing Duck actually does sell, and to get $75, so what is it, almost $20 an issue for a 1991 comic of a
Very cool.
aimed at kids, it doesn't happen very often. Next thing we have over here, teen magazines. There you go.
Yeah.
Probably River Phoenix. So it was in August 1989. Tom Cruise, Kirk Cameron, who's in the news all the time. Tom Cruise is in the news all the time because of the COVID. They're on opposite sides. One heavy masker, one doesn't believe in the masks. Winona Ryder, and then River Phoenix. And it probably was the River Phoenix. I did get the $32 out of it. Very important if you're listing teen magazines. We've said it before. We'll say it again. Check for completeness. A lot of times people will clip them. So I actually went through page by page to make sure this was complete. Was worth the time because I ended up getting the $32 out of it. Speaking of, we were talking about the Connie Selica and the Greatest American Hero and how nice that cover was. This next thing up over here is a newspaper that came out, Sunday Picture Times, I believe was the name of it. In New York City in the 1940s and 50s, and just it's a little bit longer than Life magazine.
The suspense is killing me. Let's see it.
It's a little bit bigger than Life magazine. So just take a look at this cover, and they all had the covers like that, full page covers.
Oh, okay.
And I know you don't use taking offers on auctions.
No, I do not.
Arlene Dahl, New York Giants, Lex Barker. And the cover is Mrs. Lex Barker. I guess maybe that might be Arlene Dahl. I don't remember my thing. May 13th, 1951, Sunday Picture News. I put this up at $44. A lot of other people have this title up, and they're asking anywhere from $20 to $50 on it. So I took multiple pictures, put up at $44, got an offer from a gentleman about half an hour after I listed it. Now, as far as I know, none of those things are going to really sell it. I was thinking perhaps the New York Giants. Turns out the person who made me the offer was overseas, so I doubt it was the New York Giants.
Yeah, right.
$144 offer.
Holy crow.
I said, sell it before he changes his mind. And the other problem is, if he had made me the $144 offer and then put a bid on it, it takes away his offer. So I also didn't want him saying, oh, he hasn't responded yet, let me put the bid on, because he probably would not have had a lot of competition on this. So that was one of those cases where, I mean, maybe it's worth $1,000. I can't believe that it is. I have no reason to believe so. I was more than happy to take the $144 on it, send it off to him. Very, very happy about that sale. And they are beautiful magazines. But they're not magazines that sell themselves. You have to go through and take a lot of pictures. And the last thing we have over here, and again, I'm going to kill you with suspense. Do you follow the NBA?
Sure.
Ever heard of the Sacramento Kings? Mm-hmm. Do you know where they were before that?
No.
They were the Kansas City Royals. And one year they were the Kansas City Omaha Royals.
Okay.
You know where they were before that?
Rochester Royals?
They were the Cincinnati Royals.
Jeez. All right.
Do you know where they were before the Cincinnati Royals?
Rochester Royals.
There you go. Do you know more or less what they were before then?
A bad team?
They were a semi-pro team sponsored by the local Seagram's brewer or distillery.
Big bucks.
Probably one of a kind. They were back in the ABL.
Wow. Cool.
Going back there, and it was just sitting there. It looked like absolutely nothing. It's a gatefold, for lack of a better way to put it. 3 panels, opens up. It's got the players' names in there and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like anything. And this is something or other that in the old days, I think I paid $1 for it. I would have sat there and listed it at $20, $25, maybe $30 and been happy.
Yeah.
I started doing some research on it. I said, Les Harrison, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He's in there. Then I did the research on it, and I said, this is actually a really good, probably one of a kind. Maybe 1 or 2 others exist out there.
Right.
And I listed it at $140, and I kept getting people offering me $65, $70, $75 on it. And I said, no, that's worth more than that. I can't help but think that's worth more than that. I think I ended up taking an offer of a little more than $100 on it, which I was happy getting that.
Yeah.
And the person that bought it, I believe they had something Kings in their name, or they were out in Sacramento. Somehow or other, I think that they're follow the team nowadays, so they've got a very nice piece for their collection. But this ties back into another video we did way back when, Know Your Local History. Now I know, and if I ever happen to see anything Rochester Seagram's, I'm definitely buying it, and you may have that come in the store, and now you'll know as well. Somehow or other, I think I'll get some email going, who was that became the Kings?
Exactly.
So hopefully that helps you some. Do hit the like button. Do comment down below. And hopefully you find some great treasures yourself. And we'll see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Wanna be